Well, we had the whistle. Now we will get underway. And it is Tigres who kick things off, attacking from left to right. Just a reminder, no André Pierre-Gignac in that starting lineup, but they have brought in a big name. Carlos Gonzalez will lead the attack, and Javier Aquino comes back into the side as well. So it's been a tried and trusted side for Tuca Ferretti over the last couple of seasons. Now they'll have to deal without the mercurial French striker. Immediately in possession. Looking for that ball forward from Pizarro, and it goes through for a man I know you've been impressed with over the last couple of seasons, Carlos Acevedo.
Yeah, I think Acevedo has really grown into the position when there are always a lot of questions of will he be able to really lead in the back and be that keeper. I think he's grown, and we've seen it, you know, over the years, him just become better and better. And just over the last couple matches, especially the last game, he made some absolutely brilliant saves. As we like to say, he was standing on his head.
I've never quite understood that.
You know, yeah. As I let that out of my mouth, I was like, what does that really mean?
I guess if you can make saves standing on your head, you're a really good goalkeeper.
There we go.
Just on Santos, it's Alberto Osejo expected to lead the line, Otero out wide. It's a different attack, a different shape, a different style as well, perhaps. Julio Furch was a big physical presence. He was a leader, but his goal-scoring rate had dwindled over the last couple of seasons. And a bit of contact here with Quiñones. But Ronaldo Prieto was trying to take the throw in.
It's a whole little interesting play here. I'm sure we'll take a look at this and what is going on. And
there we go.
Little hand to the chest, a little bit of a flop going on by Prieto.
Well, I love Quiñones pointing back and saying, well, it should have been taken back there. Nice to see both players getting up and shaking hands and getting on with it. But just on that, Kobe, no Furch. How does that change the dynamics of this Santos attack?
Well, it's not going to be as direct, you know, trying to play it into Furch and see if he can hold on to it and then bring the rest of the players into the game. I think with Otero brought in there, we see some speed, pace, and technical skill being added on that, especially on that left side. So I feel that Santos is going to be much more of a playing team in that final third, passing through the defense and trying to find a way to get a shot off.
Santos winning the free kick here. There's a little push in the back there on Cervantes from Leo Fernandez. And a free kick and a chance for Alan Cervantes to get some service in. I was wondering if Doria was going to hover around this one. He does like to shoot from distance.
I think this one's far enough out where Doria is going to find himself, you know, in that box. He usually hangs a little bit away from it, just at the edge, and there we go, at that near post. We usually try to find him where he can get a flick on it.
Now he tries to come back towards that near post area. They have runners on the far side. It is in that general direction for Doria, who had separated himself, but he just couldn't get the touch he wanted to keep it in play.
We've seen it a dozen times before where Doria just hangs out at that near post area, and just does it like 2 or 3 inches, just steps up and gets his head on it, tries to redirect it for anyone that could be charging in at the back post. He was just a little, didn't get enough on it to slow the ball down. But that's going to be a play that they will continuously use with any fouls around the box.
Long ball forward, Quiñones coming in, and you'll see that a lot from the wide players from Tigres if you haven't watched them. Aquino and Quiñones love to come inside. Leo Fernandez drops in, so it can become a little bit narrow in those central positions.
But that's okay, though, because what they like to do, Aquino and Quiñones tuck in, and that allows that space for Rodriguez and Dueñas to really overlap into the space and get the crosses in. Because when you have a Gignac or a Gonzalez, they're ready to get those crosses.
They keep possession away here. Otero, still Otero, tries to go through too, and well, he's dead on his feet, but he just couldn't get by that second defender. It's good play from Luis Rodriguez, and Quiñones just trying for that little flick in the direction of Carlos Gonzalez. On the eyebrows raised when he was brought in, a team that has so much firepower already, to add a talented striker like Carlos Gonzalez. He may now lead the line in Club World Cup play. Acevedo, not convincing with the clearance, and now not quite sure if yet we've seen a foul throw. Not a call you see too often.
That's something that the referees usually let go quite a bit.
Did see it in Premier League play this morning as well, so referees keeping a keen eye on that one. Well played forward, nice interchanging play here. Valdez with his back to play. Good challenge. Strong midfield for Tigres with Carioca and Pizarro. Up against the combative Gorriarán. A bit of space in here to go for goal for distance, and that one, well, it comes off the side netting, but I don't think it was ever really going to trouble Nahuel Guzman. Otero with the final effort.
You see this shot from distance, and you're right, he's just off the side netting, and like you said, de Guzman had read that one all day. When you see it where the keeper doesn't even make a dive, he's got a good reading on exactly where he needs to be.
We always talk about the attack for Tigres, but so solid defensively as well. Carlos Salcedo, Hugo Ayala, two very experienced defenders. Dueñas and Rodriguez either side. Doesn't change too much, Tuca Ferretti. Side winning the free kick there. Carlos Gonzalez getting in the battle. Now the ball is back. Ayala from Salcedo. Rodriguez. Leo Fernandez. Expect to just play underneath Carlos Gonzalez and look to link, as we're seeing here. Nice little turn there from Carioca, the Brazilian. Clear forward by Guzman. Here's Gonzalez. Nice turn from him. They just allowed him to take that one down himself, and it was a lovely pass and not a bad cross either. Rodriguez, the fullback. Another good delivery. Plenty in the area. Gonzalez with the header. Well, he started that move when he came deep and just maintained possession, but some early moments there from Tigres coming forward.
Well, the whole last minute, Keith, you see exactly how Tigres likes to play, where they can hold, keep possession, go from one side of the field to the other, realize that it's not on, and go all the way back and quickly counter on the far side. So that's what Santos has to be aware of, is how quickly this team can strike and kind of lull you into complacency, and then all of a sudden there you have a cross on your goal.
Well, they've won a free kick here. Gorriarán is taken down by Pizarro. That's going to be a good battle. Gorriarán, so much energy in midfield, the Uruguayan. Well, it looked like he was getting ready to pick the ball up before the whistle had gone there for the free kick. This time it's Valdez down.
It's a little bit of a battle going already. You see right there, there's the connection. Carioca connects. There's the initial foul. You see as well Pizarro is coming in. And you mentioned it, Keith. It's a midfield of Tigres that is strong and solid. They love contact, and they're going to make it as difficult as possible for Valdez to be comfortable on the ball.
Tuca Ferretti watching on. 7 Liga MX titles as a head coach. Not a bad record at all. One more and he'll hold the record all by himself. Currently tied with Nacho Treles. 5 of those 7 titles that he has won have been with this Tigres side that he's been with for a decade, and well, a lot of other people have jobs for a decade and that's nothing, but if you're a manager in Liga MX and you've had a job for a decade, that's saying something.
That's very true, but we saw over there, and there's a little look at Ferretti's accomplishments. 7 titles. I'd say that's pretty good, Keith.
Not bad.
but I do want to go back to Almada on the sideline. He was angry, and I think I know why. Off of that set piece when they were getting ready to take the kick and Quinones jumps up, he was only about 5 yards away from the ball. The referee didn't give the 10 yards of separation that he's supposed to.
Donnie, a strong header clinging. Almada was showing his emotions. I don't know if he's going to feel a little bit of pressure this season. I know he's playing without Brian Lozano, but They were disappointing in the way they bowed out of Liga. Not that a defeat to anybody is okay, but losing at home the way they did, the Pachuca, can't have been easy.
Well, it's always difficult if you lose at home. And that's the big issue, especially when we're talking about Santos Laguna and what the home field has been for them over the past few seasons. It has been, their strength playing at home, and to lose in such a way, the questions, of course, are going to be coming.
Nice ball out wide by Leo Fernandez. Aquino trying to come inside. Well read and won back rather easily by Dueñas. Positive signs here early on from Tigres, though. They're taking the game to the hosts. Quiñones, Gonzalez, Fernandez, and that one right on Acevedo, but lovely link play from the new striker Gonzalez, and that man Leo Fernandez just underneath him.
Well, look how quickly the ball was moving around, and it comes off of this shot from Leo Fernandez. For Acevedo, luckily it's right at him, not that difficult, but just the ball movement has been excellent from Tigres. And when you look at their spacing, pay attention to that. Everyone's like about 5 to 10 yards apart. It's that perfect spacing that you want, where if you can get the passing down as well, you'll split teams apart, you'll pick them apart as you will.
It wasn't always first choice, Leo Fernandez, last season. A lot of pressure from the press to get him in the side. The referee's whistle has gone. Tuca Ferretti wasn't going to be pressured into putting him in, and well, now it looks like he might get an extended run. Here's that challenge again. A little bit of follow through on Otero.
It's definitely a little bit extra coming in from Rodriguez. This will give us a better look here. Rodriguez comes through. Let's see the follow through. Maybe holds it up a little bit, but in a play like that where he's clearing the ball, it's very difficult for the referee to make that judgment call. Difficult for the defender too, wouldn't it be, to make that clearance and not follow through. I guess the argument would be get the foot down a little bit quicker. Carioca again giving away the free kick. They've given away a couple of set pieces in these kind of positions. Valdez was asking how many is that now on Carioca. It's a little bit of a, seems to be a chippy game happening. A lot of the whistle blowing. 5 fouls, 13th minute. Watching on, he's on his feet, he's off the bench. He knows this is an opportunity for Santos Laguna. Cervantes. Again, you pointed him out last time, Doria, just in that almost near post area. And again it goes towards him. This one defended well initially, and Nahuel Guzman is well positioned, and well, then he's held by Valdez. And he's frustrated that he is, claiming he wanted to start the counter. That's a little gamesmanship from Valdez, just making sure that he slows it down. But every time off of these set pieces, they are trying to find Doria, and Tigres has understood that now. Now they have like 2 to 3 players kind of surrounding where Doria is. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a switch off of the next one right outside that 18. Well, looking for Otero. That was good read coming across from Ayala. Carioca. Pizarro. The busy Leo Fernandez. Perhaps his best position, isn't it? Just off the striker. Aquino. The switch called for by Salcedo, and it's gone the other side. Nice little flick back in. Quiñones, good skill from him. Still Quiñones gets to the line, tries to get the cross in towards the far post. Real opportunity, and then that will come back off the woodwork. Wow. Leo Fernandez well positioned, tried to blast it. Tigres had a player that fell inside the area as well, but that was the best opportunity so far. What an opportunity for Tigres. Probably without a doubt, I think Leo Fernandez is thinking, how did I miss this one? Because this is some brilliant work from Quiñones. Touches the ball around Doria, then just a little bit of a deflection. This goes right to Fernandez, and that is, yes, off the post. I thought maybe Acevedo got a hand on it, but no, this just goes off the post and out for the goal kick. I mean, that's one of those plays, just the whole build-up. the skill from Quiñones. It was something special, Keith. It has you jumping out of your seat off of that play.
Otero's gone down to the other side, and they're now surrounding the referee, Fernando Guerrero Ramirez. Guillermo Almada, not too fussed over the known call.
I'm looking at it from that angle, and I think that's a good no call. I think maybe Otero was looking for the foul.
We thought it was a no call. Now it has been given.
Yeah, I'm sure they were probably arguing to possibly have a card come out for it, but I didn't see a whole lot of contact there. I think it was one of those plays as a winger, you're looking and expecting something to come, so you go down. And it seemed to work. Drew the foul. I believe this is the third one from this area that we've seen so far that Otero has drawn some type of foul. We'll see this time if they do switch it up or they continue to see if they can find Doria. And there he is at that near post on the left side of your screen.
It's been Tigres from open play, but it's Santos Laguna from set-piece situations. Here is the delivery. That's a much better cross. Got beyond the first defender. Just about kept in play. Pull back towards the edge of the penalty here, and inadvertently that's going to start the counter-attack. Leo Fernandez receives it from Quiñones, and well, for a moment it was he and 7 Santos Laguna players in the attacking half of the field for Tigres. Managed to hold on to it, and again it's good approach play. Carlos Gonzalez well positioned, and Aquino just couldn't play that ball into his path.
And I think when we look at Aquino and Carlos Gonzalez, maybe it's just a little bit of new players starting to figure out, one another. If that's Gignac, maybe a little bit different in understanding of that positioning of where that ball is going to be going, because you actually saw Gonzalez check back a little bit rather than step forward, where he could have received that ball basically with no one in front of him, going straight to goal.
Gorriarán. Nice ball forward from him. Osejo for Prieto. Ball across to Felix Torres. This is the first real spell of possession we've seen from the host Santos Laguna.
Yeah, and you've got to like this because they're actually holding on to the ball in Tigres' half, and that's exactly what you want to see. It shows that you have that possession with purpose, that you're moving forward and trying to find ways to split the lines and get beyond defenders.
We're forced all the way back here to the goalkeeper Acevedo, so possession, but not really possession with a purpose.
I think they got to get the ball to the feet of Valdez. Valdez, we've seen it in previous matches. Sometimes he likes to stay a little bit too high. Once he drops off, then he becomes much more dangerous as he adds numbers into the midfield.
Gorriarán, nice ball forward. That's a chance from distance, and Guzman, well, might have been going wide. The goalkeeper was going to take no chances, but he got down quickly. Osejo and Valdez combining.
This is a look at the little skill play going on from Quiñones. Best chance of the game so far, without a doubt. Fernandez, he's got to put this one away. He connects with it well, just can't put it on target.
It was Aquino, the man who fell down, who might have been better positioned and might have had the easier opportunity had he kept his footing. Another free kick here for Tigres. Of course, with that CONCACAF Champions League playing, this season was extended, wasn't it? So less of a break for them in between.
Less of a break, maybe a little bit sharper. I can't emphasize enough how much that means if you're playing competitively for 2 weeks to a month longer than an opponent, and what an advantage that is, because if you have a month of no playing as compared to a week of no playing, I'm telling you, it's so different. You have a serious advantage. You know the pace of the game. You know what you need to do, and mentally, you're just a step ahead.
They've looked the brighter side so far, Tigres, without getting that all-important opening goal. Again, playing without André Pierre Gignac. Luca Ferretti. I think he might be frustrated with the referee here that so many fouls have been given. The mask is off too, so you know he really is angry at something on the field.
There's a little bit of a trip there. And look, it's not a whole lot, but it is a foul. He's tripping the player up. Sometimes a foul's just a foul, Keith.
Yes, it may very well be that he was frustrated with one of his players as well. Guzman, it was nice technique on the clearance from the goalkeeper. He couldn't connect with Carlos Gonzalez. Santos Laguna, we've talked about Tigres' success. They've had some recent success themselves. Most recently the Clausura in 2018, where actually beat Tigres in the quarterfinals to move on that year. Ended 2-2 on aggregate, but they advanced because they were the higher seed. I know people complain about away goals, but that always seems a little bit harsh.
Here you go, Keith. Here's another whistle from the referee for a bad throw-in.
It has been that kind of half, isn't it? Yeah.
And you can see Jorge Amada at the bottom complaining to the referee that he's just like, let the game play. Let's try to establish some type of rhythm. Amada is not happy there. Here's the throw, but not in the right spot. And the whistle gets blown.
Yikes. Well, there we see confirmation of the recent regular season finishes. They went in too badly in the Clausura in 2020. Then you see the 2019 Apertura. They were in first place in the regular season. And that was Guillermo Almada having that instant impact. And we see a first real look at Jesus Izahara on that far side.
Well, this is part of the problem. When we talk about Izahara in the previous match, it was kind of along the same lines. You really didn't notice him, and he really didn't get involved in the match at all. And the question was, where is he? When's he going to force his way into the game? Because sometimes as a player, you have to actually come off the line, put yourself in a position that you force players to give you the ball so you can have some type of impact on the game.
Aquino, is he going to go wide here? Still Aquino, tries to get that cross in. He was up against Jonathan Diaz, the 21-year-old defender who done very well. The thing about Aquino, you do know where he wants to go, don't you? He's always going to come back on that right foot. So knowing where he wants to go is one thing, stopping it is another. Marsejo, that one takes a deflection. Might fall kindly here at the edge of the box. It did, and the shot on goal again. Relatively easy save for Guzman. For Marsejo, that was a real opportunity. Prieto tries to get that cross, and he did manage to get it towards the near post, but Guzman once again strong with his hands. Well, that was better from Santos Laguna at the edge of the penalty area.
Let's take a look at this. It's a little bit of a pass, too much, not enough heat on it. I think it's Ishihara that steps up and just doesn't connect enough with that one. I think Amada's probably agreeing with me there. you got to put some power on it, at least test the keeper, because that really didn't test Guzman at all.
Acevedo, Ayala. Hugo Ayala, who's been with the club now for a decade as well. Veteran defender. He and Salcedo, excuse me, have a very good understanding.
Look how wide the wingers are for Tigres. They don't come in when the ball's on the other side of the field, and this is what's spreading the defense of Santos apart and making it so difficult for them to cover the ground.
Quiñones now trying to attack that space he's opened up. Nice ball in towards Carlos Gonzalez. Not quite sure if he meant it, but the link works. Rodriguez.
He will tell you he meant it.
Like any good striker. He just have the ability to hold a play. I'm not comparing him in any way to Gignac, but similar attributes. I don't think anybody can replace the Frenchman, but it's not a massive step down in class. I'm hoping the silence is agreement, Kobe.
It is agreement. I'm just looking at this and the analysis of this, how Santos is having such a difficult time in figuring out how to defend Tigres right now. It looks like that they are second to every ball.
Another good cross in Quiñones at that far post. This one's going to fall for Tigres again at the edge of the penalty area. Carioca back for Rodriguez. Carlos Gonzalez gets up, and he was attacking that one well. Aquino, and that one's cleared by Jonathan Diaz. Not fully cleared. Dueñas, and that's good goalkeeping. Acevedo off his line quickly and gets there as he intercepts that intended cross towards Gonzalez.
And that's good work by Acevedo. He needs to do that at times because his defense needs a bit of a break. They need to be able to kind of regroup. And plays like this are not helping. You can't give up the ball so easily, and you've got to do a better job of getting around the ball and winning possession.
Acevedo. Aquino. Leo Fernandez is a bit of a quiet spell here. The Tigres attack-minded midfielder. It's a nice touch for Quiñones. And when he had all the space in the world to run into, he just couldn't control the ball.
Yeah, fortunate for Santos because, like you said, time and space. Two players from Santos go up to challenge the ball. Both of them lose that challenge and leave Quiñones wide open on the far side. They've got to do a better job of communication.
The most convincing of clearances again, and that one won back well by Pizarro. Been influential in the middle of midfield. He and Carioca have won that battle so far against Gorriarán and Cervantes. Ball back with Doria. Just these areas where Santos have had possession, they haven't looked like penetrating with that possession.
If you look at the field while the ball is moving, you see a lot of the players kind of standing around and not sprinting into open positions where they can receive the ball with time and space.
And Doria, you can just see with his body language, they're just calling for someone to come in and show for it, and it didn't happen from Otero. That was a little bit of space to run into. Here it is, Juan Otero. Nice change of pace from him. Not a great pass, but luckily Valdez turned it into one. That long range hit well wide of the target, but that was better from Juan Otero on that left wing, coming inside, trying to commit defenders.
Yeah, it's actually good once one of the players from Santos picks up the ball and they run with it, leaving a defender behind, because then that forces some of the defenders from Tigres to pull off of their man, and then it opens things up. And we've seen that from Cervantes when he picks it up, and we've seen it from Otero so far, where there needs to be more movement off the ball when Santos has possession.
Look at that Tigres bench there, which includes Julian Quiñones. Gonzalez, as he won a corner here, it looked like it came off Torres last, and well, they made something out of nothing there. Torres frustrated, but that was good play from Carlos Gonzalez.
It's excellent play from Gonzalez, just reading the situation, where the ball's going to bounce, knowing that the defender's going to try to hold it. Just a little bit of a push. That's all you need. Not enough for a foul, but enough to push the defender into the ball, and you end up winning the corner. Gamesmanship, Keith. Gamesmanship.
He's done it really well. Leo Fernandez, left-footed delivery on the set piece. Outswinger looking towards Acevedo. It's going to fall here, and a second opportunity. Carioca picks it up. Another cross blocked. This time it was Dueñas trying to deliver. Gorriarán having to cover a lot of ground in the middle of midfield so far. Quiñones wanted it back. Carioca not allowing Santos Laguna to break out, and then needlessly giving a free kick away. That will get them out. Good play from Jonathan Diaz.
Let's take a look at this. Yeah, okay, Heath, I've had this conversation before, and I'll put it out there again. Whenever a defender does that, the referee always seems to call it. But if an offensive player has the ball and a defender does that to him, it's always play on. That's the get-out-of-jail-free card for a defender.
Well, you said gamesmanship a couple of moments ago. That was next-level gamesmanship, wasn't it?
Without a doubt.
The yellow card is shown this time for Rodriguez. I haven't seen a real bad challenge in the game, but so many different free kicks given. The referee's decided to go to the pocket.
Let's see, just
not too much on it.
And from that angle, maybe it's difficult to see. Maybe a little bit of a touch, but the only thing that I can see is that it's, persistent infringement. Like you said, it wasn't a bad challenge, but we have seen foul after foul after foul continue.
We have seen this time and time again. It almost seems like the exact same position for Alan Cervantes. He's getting practice, he's getting better as well. Quiñones, he does have pace if they can spring this counter, and they might have just done that. Ball played out wide. Leo Fernandez has gone into that left channel. Still Leo Fernandez trying to take on the defender, gets his cross in. Gonzalez got away from Doria, just couldn't raise himself enough to get that header back on target, but that was good play from Leo Fernandez, and well won back by Carioca as well.
That midfield for Tigres is so good, and this is what helps them consistently winning the ball in the midfield.
Leo Fernandez again. Gonzalez on the turn. Gonzalez on the turn. Wonderful save. Acevedo at full stretch, but how Gonzalez created that yard of space for himself. So close to the opening goal for Tigres.
And this is part of the reason of why they picked up Gonzalez in these little spaces. They know what he can do, and he shows it once again. A tight space, pulls the ball away and gets this shot off. And what a save by Acevedo. Fully extends himself to push that ball wide. So once again, Keith, Acevedo standing on his head.
Even better on the replay though, wasn't it, that save? At full stretch. Gonzalez finding a pocket of space between two after the ball from this man, Leo Fernandez. And that's why you in particular rate Acevedo so highly. Fernandez, the cross, goes through everybody. Now's there a chance to counter here for Santos Laguna. They had numbers up on that far side, and almost getting that ball through was Valdez.
That ball has to get through, Keith. You get that ball through, it's 3v1 going to goal. And those are the moments that separate a win and a loss. If you can slide that ball through a little bit sooner, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it into space and let your teammate run onto it.
We haven't really talked about the fact no fans, of course, it does take away from that home advantage, but Tigres aren't playing like an away side so far, very much on the front foot. Let's have a look here. Was there too much contact?
Yeah, look at the right side of your screen. You can see there's some jersey pulling. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough for VAR to really look at that and overturn anything or add anything.
Well, you said it's not. We're going to have a referee who's going to go and have a look.
Now, for me, I think you also have to look at the opponent and what they're doing.
So there's two here. There we see Salcedo's the man who goes down. The fact that they're going to look at this suggests the referee's been told they think it's a penalty.
Yeah, but maybe the referee thinks it is, but I look at Salcedo and his left arm is in the chest.
Well, there you see it. Is that enough for a penalty? I mean, on the replay you see there is a fistful of jersey. So technically you can see when the referee's giving it, no?
Yeah, technically you can see it, but look at that left arm. You see that from Salcedo. He's pushing in there as well. So I think it's two players fighting and jockeying for position. I don't think you're allowed to put a left arm into someone's chest and push them away for the same reason. So...
And the argument could be made, if we give that a penalty, it's going to be a penalty at every corner kick, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I guess this does go hand in hand in what we've seen, the way this game has been called so far, with all the whistles being blown. It has been a stickler for all the little things. Look at the throw-ins that we saw being called. So this is a game where every player now knows that any type of borderline incident could be called as a foul. So watch for more of this, you know, as this game goes on.
Acevedo pulled off a miraculous save just a couple of moments ago to deny Gonzalez, and he's going to be up against the big striker again here. So new man, and he's got the responsibility to open the scoring here for Tigres. Carlos Gonzalez against Carlos Acevedo. Gonzalez goes around the ball, and it's another big save from Acevedo. He opened his body up, Acevedo read his intentions, and that is top class from the goalkeeper.
Are you kidding me, Keith? Acevedo has been magic, and he does it once again. I mean, this is shocking. You absolutely expect Carlos Gonzalez, and he thought himself that he was going to find a way to put that in the back of the net. But Acevedo, huge save.
That technique as well, though, Kobe. He opened his body all the way up and around, and it just seemed like Acevedo knew exactly where he wanted to hit that before he'd even hit it. Take nothing away from the goalkeeper, though. Two top-quality saves in the first half.
This game's starting to get chippy. You always know a game's getting chippy when there's a lot of talking after a foul has been called. We're taking a look at the foul that was called for the penalty, and here's the save.
So I guess just going back to the argument on the penalty, there is a jersey pull, but then you can ask, is it enough to warrant Salcedo going down? So sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not, and that's where the frustration lies. Free kick, Guzman, and he wasn't convincing there, and that one's going to go out of play for the corner kick.
Very interesting from Guzman. He had it in his head as the ball was being kicked that he was going to come out regardless. Very risky play, I believe, by Guzman.
Izihara was over there at the corner. Instead, he's going to leave this one. Whipped in delivery, and that one wasn't far away from Diaz, who I think had come forward. Valdez gives it away. Fernandez. You just wonder as well if that was talked about beforehand for Tigres, who was going to take the penalties with no Gignac there, and whether it was a on-the-spot decision from Carlos Gonzalez. Really looked like he telegraphed where he was going to go, though.
Yeah, this is just good play by Acevedo, just getting up there and making sure. And how many times do we see, Keith, where that one hand goes up and it goes off the hand into the back of the net to make sure that your wrist is stiff enough to make sure you get that save and push that out and then be able to smother it? Very impressive.
And un beso from Doria for the save. The defender's very happy with the goalkeeper. Nice turn again from Gonzalez. This time he's surrounded by three defenders. Cheaply given away by Santos Laguna. Long range hit, and Acevedo, that one just stings his palms, and well, he doesn't hold on to it, but he didn't have to. Snapshot from Leo Fernandez. All played in, and that's relatively easy for Carlos Salcedo. Back to Nahuel Guzman.
I would like to see for Santos where you have Valdez, Gorriarán, even Cervantes, and they could switch off if they like, but they've got to kind of, instead of playing in the central areas where Carioca and Pizarro are really dominating the play, can you pull out a little bit wide? Just pull out, right behind Aquino or right behind Quiñones and get into those spaces and pick up the ball. That will give a lot more room for Santos to be able to break out and have more opportunities to go forward.
Are you surprised Gorriarán has been so quiet?
Yes, but I understand it with how Tigres is playing. They've spread the field out so far that it's practically impossible for those midfielders to chase. You can't beat the ball. The ball always wins.
Tigres breaking forward from midfield again, and one back again by Guido Pizarro. He and Carioca have such a good understanding. Ball back to Nahuel Guzman. Santos are going to try to press a little bit higher here. He did get a look before that penalty of Brian Lozano in the stands. I'm sure he's itching to get back on the field himself, as all his teammates are hoping he'll be back as soon as possible. Story we'll have to watch continuing to develop, that he may need surgery again.
It's very easy for Tigres to just change the point of attack and get from one side of the field to the other.
Aquino trying to flick that one in, but that's well marshalled defensively, as Leo Fernandez was just putting a little bit of pressure on the defender. Well, that is going to be a goal kick.
And the way Tigres likes to play, they like to get from one side of the field to the other. They're not playing a lot centrally where Pizarro or Carioca are building in the middle and then trying to break the ball through to Fernandez or Gonzalez. No, they're getting the ball wide. It's Quinones, it's Aquino, and then they're getting those crosses in. Usually it's Gignac they're trying to find, or it would have been the combination, but now since they have Gonzalez in there, even more so. Can we get the cross in and find them? And that's why, as you mentioned, you're not seeing a lot of Gorriarán, because Gorriarán's central, and just the play is just passing him up as everything is going wide.
Quinones, nice turn from him. A little bit of space out wide here for Rodriguez. Cross towards the far post, good delivery. Just a fraction too high for Aquino. And then Fernandez wanted too long on it. Gonzalez does well to keep possession. Pizarro, he's been on every second ball. Dueñas. Back for Aquino. Well defended by Doria. No goals, but we've had a couple of big moments, most notably Acevedo's save from Gonzalez from regular play and then from the penalty spot.
Go again, Pizarro gets the ball, it goes wide to Aquino. It's not on, they'll go all the way back and just switch it to the far side. There's not a lot of plays centrally. The only play that goes centrally is a connecting pass.
Rodriguez, Quinones, again just inside of him. Rodriguez, she would have been better served playing that ball earlier as he ran into three defenders. Now Quinones comes back, and well, that was an easy decision. Another referee's whistle, stopping Ronnie, as it has on his jersey, Ronaldo Prieto.
Let's see, Quinones comes in. And you see that left arm just pushes out just a little bit on Ronnie.
I said that was a winger's tackle, Kobe, but I don't want to offend you. You didn't make many tackles, did you?
Oh, I was rough and tumble.
I think you're like all wingers, very good going forward, not necessarily like to come back.
I played outside back for the national team for quite a bit. So if you...
There you go. There you go. If your resume overrules me. Not a bad resume as well.
It was during that era when we started with the wing backs. You know, get up and down. The whole side is yours.
Not that long ago, Kobe. We're not going to age you too much. Gonzalez. Play back in defensively, and Gonzalez, well, he does work hard, doesn't he, the big striker. Closing down again, and he's won that one, and that one's going to go out of play for the throw-in for Santos Laguna. I think Quinones didn't want to get on it because he might have been in an offside position. Here's that save again from the penalty spot.
It's a good save. I'm surprised they didn't look at that and say, might have been a little bit off the line when the ball was actually touched. But I don't want to, throw it in any more controversy.
I'm not quite sure if that was Ferretti after the penalty was taken. Maybe complaining about who should have been on it. Corner kick here for Santos Laguna late in the first half. An eventful first 45 minutes. Tigres, I think you'd agree, Kobe, have had the better of the play so far, but Santos Laguna strong defensively.
I would agree with you. Tigres has had the better of play. Santos has had a couple of half chances. See if a set piece can change everything for him.
Cervantes. He's had plenty of opportunities from set pieces. Valdez is going to chase this one down. Was he in an offside position? No flag goes up. Well, it does eventually. So I was a step ahead of the assistant referee.
You're always a step ahead, Keith.
At least I'm a step ahead of somebody. We enter stoppage time. Kobe, your overall thoughts on what we've seen in the first 45?
Well, I think we mentioned it. Tigres has had the better play, and they just seem like the team that is in much more of a rhythm than Santos. Santos has to figure out a way defensively to move as a unit and to shut Tigres down on one side, to pin them in. Because if they don't, Tigres will just keep going from side to side and just slowly wear them down, which I expect. If they continue to do that, they'll create even more chances in the second.
Leo Fernandez looking for that ball in towards Gonzalez again. He's finding those pockets of space between defenders. There is no doubt, of course, they do miss the presence of André Pierre-Gignac. Hoping he'll be fit for that Club World Cup in a couple of weeks. We see confirmation of that offside flag going up against Valdez. I think that might be the half-time whistle. And no goals after 45 minutes. That one penalty save from Acevedo to deny Carlos Gonzalez the biggest talking point, but no goals as of yet in Torreon. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back with all the first half highlights. Match referee Fernando Guerrero Ramirez blows his whistle as Santos Laguna kick things off to start the second half, attacking from left to right. It's interesting, before the game, Ronaldo Prieto gave a pre-match interview and he said, we're going to press high, we're going to try stop Tigres playing out of the back and play our game. Didn't quite work out for them, Kobe.
I would say if that was the game plan, it was a complete failure, because Tigres has done a very good job of getting possession forward quickly and breaking down any type of pressure that Santos has been able to put on them. Now it seems like they're trying to do it a little bit more energy in this second half, Santos, of getting pressure on. We'll see if that does work. And at least off of that play, a rush pass out of the back from Tigres. We'll see if that continues.
Well, there is the man, Ronnie, who made those comments. It's one thing having a plan, one thing executing it against, well, the best team in the region, right? CONCACAF Champions League winners.
Execution's always the most difficult.
Quiñones, that one lovely run in the first half where he got to the line and crossed for Leo Fernandez. Seen more of him perhaps than we have of Aquino on the far side. Just as I say that, Aquino with a lovely turn to get away from his defender. Carioca, Quiñones letting that one run for Rodriguez. Plenty of bodies inside the area for him, and it is Aquino who was attacking it well. Cleared by Doria. Carioca, another good cross, and I don't think Gonzalez felt like that was going to come through to him. Caught napping there, the big striker. Good play again in midfield from Tigres. That axis between Carioca and Pizarro really dominating the game so far.
Well, look how easy it is. It's so easy.
Another long range here, this time from Leo Fernandez, and that one is going to take a deflection for a corner kick. So Gorriarán is chasing shadows right now at midfield.
But there's no pressure, coming from Santos. We're taking a look again at this penalty. So it just says, as there's connection. Yeah, it does have that back foot on the line, but look at that right hand gets up, the big paw just keeps it out of the back of the net.
Bringing this top quality goalkeeping from Acevedo. Another good cross. This one's going to travel through. Gonzalez on the far side. That one's blocked well. Edge of the penalty area, Pizarro. And another good block defensively. Tigres really on the front foot here. Gonzalez crossing Pizarro, and then that would come off his arm. Referee saying play on anyway because Los Guerreros have it, and they're trying to break here. Fast start from Tigres, but they have numbers up here in the attack. Santos Laguna, and that cross well defended by Hugo Ayala.
Well, this is how Santos is going to have to change it up with some type of quick counter, but they're going to have to get a little bit more out of it. Right now, I don't see them having a whole lot going on defensively. It's just too easy. These little passes and players running off the ball, one move and getting around defenders. You got to give more of an effort and have a willingness to defend better, to keep the player in front of you, and instead of letting them get by you in one pass or one move.
Ball back for Pizarro.
And Keith, there's no pressure in the midfield. Right in that central area. It's so easy for Pizarro and Carioca whenever they pick up possession of the ball.
Pizarro, 30 years of age now. He's in his second spell at the club. He was at Sevilla in between. Very talented midfielder. And again, I mentioned Tuca Ferretti. When he is a player and he likes you, he's going to build around you. He's done it with Ayala as well, and Gignac too. So right down the spine of that team. They haven't changed much. Because of that, they've won a lot, including that CONCACAF Champions League. Dueñas and Gonzalez just couldn't get that one in off that bounce.
Let's take a look at this series. There's one block by Torres. And here comes the second shot, another block. That comes in, I believe it was Cervantes on that one. But this is not how Santos wanted to start the second half, with just multiple chances coming in front of their goal. Just a whole lot of chaos being created by Tigres going forward.
You love that from Torres too, don't you? Both arms as far behind his back as he could possibly get, so no chance of him giving away a cheap penalty. Very good block from him. He and Tony have been stretched so far, but still no goals conceded by Santos Laguna. And, well, I don't think anybody else but the referee is bothered by this one. Otero, Guzman, and I'm not quite sure what the issue is here.
Well, I think it is for Otero. The rule is you have to give space for the goalkeeper to come out. You can't be standing in front of him.
Would anybody have really been bothered if the referee had just let that one go?
I don't think anyone would have been bothered with the two throw-ins either, but see how he sticks the foot out? No, this is the issue. So
I guess I'm going to see that one on the internet at some stage later tonight.
I'm sure we'll make a good meme somewhere.
How would you rate the performance so far of Carlos Gonzalez at front, Kobe, in place of Gignac in that number 9 role?
I think he's played pretty well. He's created some chances for himself. I think he's been a good hold-up when he's receiving the ball, and outside of him missing the penalty, which is massive, yes, but he's been good. I love that move in the tight space where he was able to pull the ball away from the defender, within a 2-yard area and get the shot off. That's what you want from a striker.
Doria. For Ronnie Prieto. Otero, we've hardly said his name, the left winger. Torres. Here's Otero. Good read defensively from Salcedo, and he's continued his run as well, the centre-back. Going to have to get back in now, though, because Santos are going to have possession. Well, I wide for Isihara. Nice delivery further forward. Lovely turn here. And is there a chance to cross? It might fall at the back post, and Guzman looked like he was off balance for a second there, the goalkeeper. Managed to get it clear. Another chance to get a delivery in, and this time Tigres plenty of bodies back in to clear the danger.
Much better from Santos going forward. Starting to take a little risk to get into the box and to get into the dangerous areas of the field. A lot of players are slipping, we're starting to notice.
Otero on the turn, and he's blocked well. And that effort right at Guzman. And we have a Tigres defender who's gone to ground there after the initial challenge. Prieto had gone forward from left back as well to good effect.
Here's a look at Guzman being aggressive, making sure that he does not allow Valdez at that back post to sneak in there and have a clear shot. Another look. 22. Prieto stepping forward. Not much of a test for Guzman.
Well, the referee calling for attention. We've got Ayala. This would be a big blow if he was to come off injured. They've already lost this week André Pierre Gignac, and he's obviously the centrepiece of this team, but Ayala the centrepiece of that defence. We have Juan Sanchez and Diego Reyes and Venegas to call upon if necessary. Let's have a look at this one again.
It's hard to see. Maybe just a little bit of a scrape with the follow-through. It was very difficult to see from that angle that we had what possibly could have happened to him, but he does have a heavy limp here.
This is not good. A couple of weeks away from Club World Cup play as well. Those finishes are going to continue to come thick and fast for Tigres. Attention just that ankle area. It's a little bit better now.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it's just like a step or scrape. Sometimes you can run those off.
Diego Reyes, who is getting ready, and I think he's going to put his top back on. Might have come off the arm of Rodriguez, but no hint that that was going to be a penalty.
Just looked like it was a little bit of a scrape coming off the back of near the Achilles area, where it's always a bit more sensitive.
Gonzalez and Cervantes in a battle, and well, credit Cervantes for battling with him, but I think once Gonzalez had position, it was going to be difficult for him to win that. Free kick given. Santos squander a lot of free kicks in this position in the first half. Now Tigres with the opportunity to see what they can muster up. A bit more central than we saw from Santos. Fernandez changes that angle by going out wide. And the cross is blocked. There'll be a throw-in, so they felt it was too central to get service in. Yeah, well, it's pretty consistent with Tigres. Everything that they do, they go out wide. Santos are going to break him with a little bit of purpose. Otero, good read defensively. Excellent play from Tigres to get back in. Just a couple of moments from Otero in this second half that suggest he could be a threat on the counter-attack. It's a little bit surprising that we haven't seen more of Otero, but I think it's just the lack of possession from Santos that hasn't allowed that to happen, because we saw in the previous match for Santos, they were trying to get Otero 1v1. It really hasn't worked out so far in this game. Good win back there as Rodriguez and Quiñones were trying to be a little bit too cute in possession, and now Otero with a little bit more space. Osejo further forward, Otero, that one takes a deflection, going to fall here at the edge of the penalty area, and it's a complete miss hit with the goal gaping. That was better from Santos Laguna, better from Otero as well. And this time Guzman comes all the way out to catch that before Otero could get on the end of it. Might have been Gorriarán at the edge of the penalty area who couldn't make the contact he wanted. It's a little bit better defensively now from Santos, just dropping in deep, getting those lines of defense, make it a little bit more difficult so they can't play out wide. It might be the smarter move for Santos. Can you force them to play inside? Confirmation, the FIFA Club World Cup from Qatar coming up on February 1st on Fox Sports. Tigres will be involved, so will Bayern Munich. Question, who will be representing South America and all Brazilian Copa Libertadores final. Santos Laguna coming forward with Prieto, and he goes down. Looked like he was trying to coax the referee into giving him a free kick. That's a nice way of putting it. Trying to draw a foul? Yes. Maybe we've seen a couple of those on the day. Some of them given as well. It was a fast start to this second half from Tigres, but pace and tempo of the game has dropped slightly. Leo Fernandez, he's going to be key for Tigres. That understanding with Carlos Gonzalez in that final third. Nice ball out wide here for Quiñones. Up against Prieto, back on that left foot, nice pull back, edge of the penalty area. It's going to be pulled back here for Pizarro.
Tigres not fans of trying to build through the middle, so what do? They're trying to push it out wide again.
Aquino, and he's won a free kick this time, and again, I mentioned it, you know he's going to go inside, but it's difficult to read, and Diaz frustrated, not just with giving away the foul, that he's picked up a yellow card as well.
Yeah, and this one was a yellow for me. This is a pretty hefty tackle. He's beaten on the move from Aquino going inside. And all he does is just trying to make sure that the man can't get the cross off. Because the ball's beyond, so what does he do?
Yeah, that was late.
Takes out the player.
First foot, now the second foot.
The second. That's the okay, I'm gonna make sure you go down.
Jonathan Diaz, just 21 years of age, but coming up against one of the real veterans on this Tigres side, one of the many veterans in fact. Karaoke goes over it, Leo Fernandez, left-footed, and I'm not quite sure if he was going for goal or was trying to whip that one back around to cross. Either way, it's gone out of play, and yep, I think that sums up the frustration for the manager.
Yeah, you got to be a little frustrated on that. You have all your players in there. That one's got to be just driven towards that far post and let your players, your teammates run in on it.
It's just interesting. A moment ago, we saw Darwin Quintana, one of the assistants for Santos Laguna, giving instructions. Good win back by Carlos Gonzalez. Quiñones. Gonzalez gone one side. Quiñones was just going to slip it to the other for Leo Fernandez. Good defending from Santos Laguna, but they're giving it right back again to Tigres. Dueñas to Aquino, which looked like it was a foul. No free kick given. Chance to break here for Santos Laguna. Otero. Guzman, that was cool from Nahuel Guzman.
Very calm by Guzman.
I know you covered the match last week for Santos Laguna, Kobe. You've seen Tigres, who started the season with the victory against Leon. Are these two sides you feel that can challenge for a title this season?
Yeah, I think as they continue to grow, into it, without a doubt, I think both of these sides can put up a good challenge, for the title. I believe both will make the playoffs.
Should mention 12 of the 18 make the playoffs, so I would hope they'll both make the playoffs. It's no longer the bar that decides the good from the rest. No disrespect if you make it in as 12th, of course, but there was a cynical foul from Ronnie Prieto and Quiñones. I think Quiñones, there you go, he wants a yellow card. As does Leo Fernandez, who, after his last effort from a free kick, is going to be given another chance. And is that to the bemusement of his coach?
Yeah, well, I'm a little surprised off of that move, where, considering the makeup of where everybody was, that Quiñones was going towards goal, that wouldn't have been a yellow card.
Yep. Maybe that's more what Tuca Ferretti's smiling about. Right foot and left footed options here, but you'd imagine it's going to be Leo Fernandez again. He's gone over it this time. Right for the delivery, right into the hands of Acevedo. So the set pieces for both sides have really been a letdown in this one.
Yeah, not a lot of quality there. You don't even give your teammates a chance. You just lay that up. Too much snow underneath it.
It's a strong challenge, and Valdez has gone down. The referee was well positioned. I think he's just going to stop this to make sure he's okay. I don't think he's going to give a free kick. Valdez is slowly getting back to his feet. It was a strong challenge, but the referee was well positioned. Let's have a look at this one again.
Well, let's look. Well, you got to wonder, is that supposed to be the shoulder to shoulder? I never really know when a referee's going to call that one or not. Is it shoulder to shoulder? Is it?
You can see the argument for a free kick when you watch that replay.
Yeah, during the run of play, I was going, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like a lot, but there you could see that there was a little bit of a lean into it, kind of eyeing Valdez to line him up.
Dueñas certainly made strong contact, but no free kick, and Valdez is okay to continue. He's been quiet today. We saw last week, though, he only needs a moment to light up a game. What a goal. Match day one he provided. Once again, Santos struggling to break through, and it looks like they're going to make a couple of changes here.
And I think it's needed for Santos. They're struggling centrally. I don't think they've got a whole lot from Ishihara. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the substitutions that comes about.
It's going to be Alberto Osejo who's going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Nacho Geraldinho. More on him in a moment. Look at the change. You see Ishihara coming off and Aguirre coming on. What do you make of those two moves?
I think they're smart moves. You haven't seen a whole lot from Ishihara. Marcelo top, so it's good just to get some fresh legs on there, new ideas, and see if you can get some more energy in the second half.
Eduardo Aguirre is a striker, as is Geraldinho, so it is moves that have in mind going for the 3 points. The question is, can he get that service into the final third to those strikers? Let's give Valdez someone to play off in that final third. Really hadn't seen much of Osejo or Ishihara. We'll play forward and Cervantes, Goriran. The ball will travel through for Nahuel Guzman.
I think Jorge Almada just summed it all up right there with that little look. The frustration from his side when they create opportunities, they don't finish. That final third is where all the problems have come for Santos.
He's on loan from Atlas, Geraldinho. He's a Chilean international. Striker that can drop off a little bit and get involved too. Valdez. All played out wide, and it opened up for a moment, and the defender just backed off Dueñas. I don't think he felt like Aguirre was going to go for goal there. He did. It was a couple of yards wide, but that was better stuff from Santos Laguna.
Well, already in, 30 seconds from Aguirre, we've seen more than we saw from Ishihara for the whole time that he was on the field. So I think it's very important that you see just the energy and the participation that you're getting from Aguirre and Geraldinho right off the bat.
Leo Fernandez is going to come off, and he's going to be replaced by Julian Quiñones, and he is a striker, so we know Leo Fernandez likes to drop a little bit deeper, become an extra midfielder. Quiñones more of an out-and-out attacker, so this is a move suggesting Tigres feel this game is there for the taking as well. Leo Leo Fernandez. You know how good he can be, but I think you could make an argument that we still haven't seen the very best of him in a Tigres jersey so far. Cervantes. Gorioran. Nice ball out wide for Diaz. Diaz, not too much on the cross, that was easy for Ayala. Torres. Nice turn from Diaz, does well to hold on to it as well. Under pressure from Aquino, and eventually wins the free kick, and Javier Aquino not happy with that call. Taken quickly, and will go out of play for the goal kick. And well, both managers have pretty much had that face on them the entire game when it comes to set pieces.
You just have that look of frustration on the sidelines from Amada the whole night.
I mentioned it when we covered the game yesterday with Borenbach, but no fans in the stadium. You can hear your coach a little bit more, and that can be good and bad, Kobe. You get a lot more information, but sometimes as a player, you don't mind not being able to hear your coach.
That's what, as a winger, I always got
the other wing, the
left
other
or the right. I'd always tell the young guy, yeah, you go to the side near the coach. I'm going to the other side.
Now we're finding out about your methods.
There is always a method to the madness.
He's never shy about showing his emotions, Almada. Just wonder how that translates to his players. Millions of kids nationwide are without the normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids in the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text play to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. Good run forward here from Quiñones. Good defending from Doria. Penalty save in the first half. Such a pivotal moment. If that is a goal for Tigres, it opens things up and forces Santos Laguna to be even more aggressive. As it stands, Acevedo's big save is the biggest moment of the match. On the turn, and the referee has won the whistle. I think Aquino might have just lost his footing in the ground. You mentioned it earlier, Kobe, about some players slipping, and that's what happened to Aquino.
Yeah, this doesn't look good, and this could be pretty bad when there's no contact and there's just a slip. You're trying to go one way, the leg goes the other way. Let's see. Watch this. He holds the ball and he tries to go. You can see just that little bit of a pull right in there.
I don't think there was any question that Diaz was making contact or it was a free kick, but doesn't make Javier Aquino feel any better. And again, with Club World Cup on the horizon, these players, they've worked so hard to play a part in such an incredible tournament. They won't want to miss that. We'll see another change now. Raimundo Fulgencio is going to come on. He played last week. He's 20 years of age. He did play in that Aquino role, so will it be for Aquino? Fulgencio's gone back to the bench. He's not going to come on just yet.
Well, if he does come on, it'll be interesting to see, because he plays like I guess we'd say as a exuberant 20-year-old, trying to go forward all the time. It was great to see. Just he was looking for goal every time he got the ball. He was aggressive going forward. It's what you want as a substitute coming in with less than 20 minutes left in the match.
I just wonder as well, Aquino, a little bit of an injury, looks over and it's a youngster who's looking for his place. He says, hang on, I'll be okay.
Probably a little bit. But I'm sure he's also thinking a little bit about that Club World Cup as well.
Yes. And all smiles on the bench. I think they've recognised they're on camera. Tigres some options if they want to freshen things up in that final third. Aldo Cruz, another interesting sign. I know he's a fullback, but we've covered him for Cholos and likes to get forward from that position. As Otero has a little bit of space, and he was left open for a moment, and Otero finds the bottom corner. And really, out of nothing, Santos Laguna have taken the lead.
Well, the adjustments and the changes from the second half on have been exactly what Santos needed. The beginning of the second half, we've seen them be more aggressive with the substitutions. The aggressive play was working even better with more possession, and then it leads to this opportunity, and Otero, who we talked about on that left wing, sneaks in at the back post. A little bit of a hesitation, a little bit of the defender just falling asleep on the far side. Rodriguez gets caught off guard, and Luis Rodriguez is going to be wondering, I didn't expect in this moment for him to go forward. He gets caught off guard, and Otero comes through with the first time right-footed shot, just bends it into that far post. Guzman, no opportunity whatsoever.
He might be feeling the fury of his manager afterwards, Rodriguez, because you could see he didn't know where Otero was. He reacted too late, and credit Otero, quiet for most of the match. But when it's mattered most, he's found the back of the net. Clinical finish. And the Colombian has given Santos Laguna, on the balance of play, an unlikely lead.
Well, this is what we were wanting, a goal to kind of open this game up, and I think this is exactly what's going to happen, and this is what Santos wants. Making this stadium, Estadio Corona in Torreon, to be a fortress once again, and that's exactly what's happening. Now we can see if that back line can continue to shut things down.
Flick on, going the other way. Doria trying to protect that lead now. It's going to be interesting to see if Santos Laguna at this late stage just sit back and try and hold on to what they have, looking to become the first team this weekend to go 2 for 2 from the 2 match days. The only side that can do it right now, even with 2 games left. Aguirre direct with his running. Salcedo comes across, and what you saw is frustration immediately, and he's still looking for someone to complain about that opportunity, because it was just a momentary lapse from an otherwise very dependable defender.
That's not a look of pleasure on Ferretti's face there, is it? You don't want him having a go at you.
Here is the goal scorer, Otero. The chip over. Aguirre was looking to get underneath Dueñas. Aquino. Gonzalez. What a great ball from him, and he's been quiet in the second half, and he's been nutmegged now as well. Aguirre, Diaz. Aguirre, he's been lively since coming on, and Salcedo, well, he handed that one clear and then put his foot through the advertising hoarding behind the touchline. It seems okay.
Like, I think the substitutions have made a tremendous difference for Santos. You know, besides just being more aggressive in the second half, I think Aguirre just is more of a threat going forward. A few times he's had the ball, he's kept possession, he's gone beyond the defender, so it's forcing players back defensively. It's forcing some of those players, like Dueñas, to really say, okay, can I go forward with someone of his skill level ready to attack into that space I might leave?
Another set-piece opportunity here for Los Guerreros. And I think again a second goal. Cervantes travels all the way through, and a shot from distance blasted well over. He has scored from distance, Goriran, but that was really ambitious.
We're going to look at that high pressure. 3 players staying high for the 3 defenders that are back for this goal kick.
It's Aguirre, Geraldinho central, and Valdez, and they're all going to go for this one. finish again. He took it so quickly.
Yeah, so it's just a great finish because it's a first-time ball coming across. He gets over it, just places it into that far post.
Differing emotions. Lozano, fist pump. Ferretti. Yep, I think Luis Rodriguez is going to see that one time and time again in the video analysis of this one. Quiñones. Can Luis Rodriguez make up for it going the other way? Well, he's lost possession. And now there's a break on. Ronaldinho, good read from Dueñas. But it is going to fall again. Guzman with the save. A second chance and a second goal for Santos Laguna. Eduardo Aguirre from an acute angle. Guzman made the initial save, but Aguirre has made no mistake. And Santos on the way to a big 3 points.
What a difference one goal can make. You get a little bit more lively, you get a little bit more confident, and you take advantage of every single opportunity. And Aguirre comes off of the bench, his creative ability, his directness, and finishes off another chance to put Santos up 2-0. And that man Lozano's got to be happy to see his team do this. It's a quick counter coming at it. Not a good clearance, just continuing to attack. A save by Guzman, but Aguirre does not stop, and it is a tight angle. He's able to squeeze that ball in at that near post, and Guzman cannot get up and back down in time. And Aguirre coming in as a super sub and totally changing this match in Santos' favor.
And the second goal and the second first touch finish as well. We saw the same on the other side from Otero. Guzman was trying to get back up after the initial save, but Aguirre left him with no chance. So after soaking up pressure, after Acevedo's 2 wonder saves in the first half, Santos Laguna are on the way to 6 points from their opening 2 games. But is there more life in this one? Julian Quiñones brings another save from Acevedo.
And there's another player that has helped give energy in the second half, and we haven't mentioned him enough, and that's Alan Cervantes in the middle. He's one of the players that really just showed energy, was moving forward quickly, and was just more aggressive. I guarantee you by his play, he was one of the players that was probably talked to a little bit by Almeida to really get in there. And we're taking a look here at another save from Acevedo. One of many on the night for him.
Those 2 in the first half, those pivotal ones from Gonzalez, who really hasn't had service in the second half. Julian Quiñones to that far side, looking for Luis Quiñones. One of those games as well, Kobe, where I know as a former wide player, you like to get wider and get crosses in, but we haven't seen that from Aquino or Luis Quiñones at all in the second half.
No, we haven't seen it at all. We saw it much more in the first half. I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been any type of changing or switching of the wingers, but that's not how they like to play. They like to have those wingers tuck in quite a bit and allow those outside backs to get into the space, and Dueñas and Rodriguez. But I think the tactical change by Santos at halftime to be more aggressive and put more pressure on the back line has pinned Dueñas and Rodriguez back a lot more. So when Aquino and Quiñones tuck inside, there's no one to go wide and get those crosses in.
Clearance for one. That's a good win from Ayala. Well, back to the centre-back who had that bit of a worry when he took that knock on the back of the Achilles, I think you pointed out, but he seems to have recovered well. We're going to see another change in a moment for Santos Laguna.
Much better defensively from Santos, because now you see when the ball's on one side of the field for Tigres, you see the opposite defender for Santos tucking in, where Carioca or Pizarro were wide open with a little pass and able to break out to the other side. Now you have the far winger from Santos stepping in to challenge every ball.
Luis Rodriguez, nice ball for Julian Quiñones. Rodriguez continues his run, just about gets there. That one deflected wide by Doria, who really hasn't put a foot wrong tonight. the Brazilian centre-back. There's time for the change now. It's going to be Omar Campos who's coming on, and a big hug there for the goal scorer, Juan Otero. Overall, Kobe was on the edge of the game, but it's the big moments that make the big players count, and that's what Otero brought us with that opening goal.
Yeah, and that's how it is for strikers, wingers. You can do nothing the whole game and not really be involved, but if you get the goal, all of a sudden you're the hero, and that's exactly what's happened on the night. I wouldn't say he had a great night. He didn't create a lot of chances or opportunities, but when the time came in the one moment that counted, he stepped up and he put the ball in the back of the net. And that's all you can ask for.
Short corner routine, Luis Quinones, and that one cleared. And just a word on Omar Campos. He's just 18 years of age, so a big moment for him to come on. Dueñas. We'll flick back to the edge of the area for Luis Quinones, who just took his eye off the ball again. He's done that a couple of times tonight. Been as fluid with the play over the course of the last 15 or 20 minutes, Tigres, and I guess that's credit to the changes that Santos Laguna have made and the added willingness to press high.
And I think this is part of the frustration for Ricardo Ferretti, the coach of Tigres. Is they squandered chances in the first half. They had domination of play, they created opportunities, they missed a penalty, and this is what happens in a game, that you dominate and you allow a team to stay in the second half. Everything can change when you make those tactical changes. And Santos made those, and now Santos has the upper hand.
Salcedo, Aquino, Salcedo. Centre-back has been looking to get forward. He's still very high. If Mosquereiros can break the initial line of pressure. There we see Ayala's 1v1 at the back. Good play from him. Pizarro. Now has taken another knock. This team are going to play on, though.
Well, you have to at this point. You don't have a whole lot of time. They're hoping that Ayala is good and that he can get up and survive. They're trying to look to get at least one on the board.
Strong challenge at the edge of the area. The referee looked like he was going to blow the whistle and elected not to. This is not just a victory, it's a statement victory from Santos Laguna against one of the heavyweights of Liga MX. A side that, as late as match day 12 last season, they were in 14th place. They were actually outside the playoff position, Santos Laguna, before marching the way back in. We're going to see another change, and now Valdez is going to come off and Adrian Lozano is going to come on. He was the match winner last week, Kobe Valdez, but pretty quiet evening from him.
Yeah, I'd say he didn't have the best night either. He was kind of shut down. He created some opportunities. It just wasn't his best game. I'd say it was a very average game, but for the most part, that first half, it wasn't a good half for most of the Santos players. I think the big changes that have helped outside of Acevedo, I'd say a lot of the credit goes to the players that have subbed up. Aguirre and Rodada.
Yeah, and I think there was a little show of frustration there, wasn't there? Even though his side are winning, I think he knows he can be better. It's a good sign, though, if he can still pick up the win. Not over the line just yet. Luis Quinones trying to change things, going the other way. Good defending from Torres. He's the man they'll look to until Brian Lozano is back on the field. Gonzalez. And of course, not to labour on the fact that Gignac is not available, but if he does play, the penalty's given, you'd imagine he's on it. We might have a different story, but that's for another day.
Yeah, I don't think Gignac's letting anybody else take a penalty while he's on the field.
He's earned that right. Mistake at the back by Salcedo. He does well to get his foot back in. Well, Guzman almost going walkabout now. He's lost possession and he's well off his line, and this one is back on target, and Salcedo clears it, and now Guzman is back in at the edge of his own area again. So a calamity at the back here from Tigres. Santos Laguna still looking to take advantage. Rash challenges flying in as well. They've lost the discipline here.
I think Guzman just wants to give his coach a heart attack. I mean, this is absolutely shocking. Sometimes a keeper you just need to get rid of the ball. You know, get it out, just kick it out of bounds, and this is a good look right here. Geraldinho trying to just find the back of the net, but it's just a last minute sliding save from Salcedo to keep it out of the back of the net and having this game be 3-0.
Now they're going to break the other way to try and make it 2-1. Julian Quiñones making a good run down the middle. Dueñas, he just wanted to come inside, and all the chance has gone again. Just have a habit of making things really narrow on this left-hand side with Dueñas and Aquino. Good play here from Santos Laguna, and again, they're good numbers forward.
Get a feeling that it's a tale of two halves, Keith, where you have the first half, Tigres dominated, second half, Santos is completely dominated, but just Santos being more clinical with their finishing is the difference between the match.
Ball's going to go through for Acevedo, and he's probably a candidate for man of the match, isn't he, the goalkeeper?
Yes, for me, he is man of the match, because if he doesn't come up with some of those huge saves in the first half, it's a completely different story.
That ball from Valdez into the path of Otero. That was the first goal, and here's the second. Quick, instinctive finish from the substitute Aguirre.
Almost the two substitutes that really create that second goal. Geraldinho with the shot, Aguirre with the finish, on the follow-up, of course. That's what you like to see. If you can have substitutes that work, the game is not about just 11 on the field, especially when you talk about the substitutes that are coming in, is can they be impact players? Can they change your fortunes going forward? And that's exactly what happened for Santos in this match.
They've given it away again here, and they've looked really lively since getting that opening goal. And these counter moments, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in attack here. They want a third goal, and that one, well, nobody was going to get on the end of that kind of cross from Ronnie Prieto. Looks a little less stressed now, doesn't he, Guillermo Almada?
Yes, he does.
He knows the importance of starting the season well. This would have been one he had circled as the real test early on as well. And the side are about to pass that test with flying colours.
Well, one thing I think we have to remember outside of the last season, which has been, I can't even put it into words how crazy it's been with everything that's going on, with the pandemic, you know, getting through, that previously Santos Laguna has set the standard. They had ridden high on the table. Their home field was a fortress. I think this is just them starting to get back into that form, starting to truly reestablish themselves, getting through their own issues and figuring out the way that they are going to be a top team in Liga MX.
Well, that is the final action. It is second half goals from Otero and Aguirre that have given Santos Laguna the points, and Tuca Ferretti graciously extends his hand to Guillermo Almada, but he was a frustrated figure on the sideline in that second half. And I know you just mentioned it, Kobe, but for Santos Laguna to start 2 for 2, given the way they exited Liga,